voters to be at their polling site, ready to go at 5:30 a.m. Okay? 5:30 a.m. Now, this will give them more than an hour and a half to get properly set up, so that when the voters arrive at 7 a.m., everything is ready to go. The close of polls will be at 8 p.m. 8 p.m. However, if there are people in line, the law indicates that we have to allow those people to vote. Okay? And you all have been around long enough to know that there will always be people in line at the end of the day. Okay? The last big election that I can remember, I think I made it home about 5:30 the next morning. Oh. So I might not ever leave home from this one. Now, one of the things, we have 61 precincts in the city of Flint. And on the goldenrod paper, I believe you all have a copy of that, is a map of the city of Flint. It shows where all the precincts are located. And then on the back of the sheet, it gives the address of each of the locations. Okay? Now, again, in order to facilitate getting people through and so forth, with those 61 locations, precincts rather, we have there are 37 locations. So some of the precincts are co-located with each other. In some cases, you might have 2, 3 precincts in one building. For example, at Longfellow School, there are 3 precincts in one building. There are a number of precincts like buildings like that. Because there will be so many new voters, and we want to be sure that people are in the right place. At each building, as people enter the door, there will be a citywide listing of all 92,000 registered voters in the city of Flint. There will be an academic order. There will be 2 people, 2 election workers staffing that book, so that when people walk in the door, and if they don't know where they're supposed to go, then the staff people can look in the book alphabetically and make a determination as to who that person is and what precinct that person should go to if they're in the wrong location. Okay? We feel that that will cut down on a lot of time. We feel it will cut down on a lot of anger in terms of people being turned off to the process and so forth. In addition, we are adding as many booths, additional booths, to each precinct as possible. Under state law, we're only supposed to have X number of booths per population, per 1,000. They waived the law in this instance because they realized there would be so many people. So we, under the law, because they will be able to include as many booths in a precinct as we can get in. And as many of you know, some of our precincts are large and some are small. But we'll do as best we can to get as many as we can there. Unfortunately, under the law, we can only have 1 optical scan or tabulator. So that if we had 10 booths in a precinct, and 10 people come out of their booths after they voted at the same time, only 1 can go to the optical scan each time. All 10 can't go at the same time. And the law does not provide that we can have 2 tabulators per precinct. So to some extent, that's where the bottleneck occurs. Okay? Absentee ballots. I want to go back to that a second. I'm sure that many of you have received in the mail or various absentee ballot forms from various candidates and so forth. The deadline for us, for our office, to receive any request for an absentee ballot is Saturday, November the 1st, no later than 2 p.m. Anything that comes in after that cannot be processed because it will not make it through the mail in time. What we do is stay in the office all day Saturday until we get those processed. And if you, for example, want to apply for an absentee ballot, you can call the office and we'll send an application out to you. Even though the application is not on this color paper, there's a sample of what the application looks like. Now, in order to qualify, you would have to have one of 6 issues. Number 1, you can be 60 years of age or older, and you can check that particular box. Or you can indicate that if you're going to be out in the community on that day, you can check that. Or if you're physically unable to be at the polls, or if you have a disability. Or the tenets of your religion precludes you from going to the polls. Or if you have been appointed by our office as an election worker. Or if you're confined to jail awaiting a ruling. Okay? So immediately upon receipt of these requests, what we do once you've signed it, just so that you'll know, we check the signature, yes, and check the signature that we have on file in the office to be sure that you're the person that signed this. Once we've gone through that entire process, then we generate a ballot, which is sent out to you, and I want you to see what the ballot looks like. Not the ballot, but the envelopes and so forth. The entire package comes in an envelope like this. We send them out one day, usually the postmaster delivers them the next day. We have all kinds of instructions in the package in terms of how you will complete the ballot, in terms of coloring in or darkening in the oval on the ballot. And then we have all these warnings, and they're about do not give your ballot to anybody. Okay? Under the law, the only person who can handle your ballot would be yourself, a relative, or someone who lives in your household. And I would think that most people would not want anybody to handle their ballot. Now, we're the only municipality in the state of Michigan who pays for the return postage. So once you have signed it, once you've placed it in the ballot in the secrecy sleeve, and you sign the envelope and sign the back, seal it up, all you got to do is drop it in the mail. And we pay for it. Okay? We pay for it. Again, I want to state, which is a good thing, we're the only city in the state who provides that kind of service to the voters of the municipality. I'm going to go back a little bit to the polling site, to the precinct. Because I think there are a lot of misnomers in the community about the new identification law. If I recall correctly, it went into effect about 2 elections ago. On the table back there, I have a sample of what the application to vote looks like on the front and the back. Front and back. When you get to the table to check in, once you have printed your name and signed it and so forth, the election worker at the table will ask to see your identification. Now, what the election worker will look for in asking for that identification, she'll be looking at your picture ID and your name, nothing else.